Now, the present topic is immunity. We are discussing immunology topic. Immunology is the study of immunity, antigens, antibodies, antigen antibody reactions, and hypersensitivity, that is called allergy, and autoimmunity. So far, we discussed the different types of antigens and antibodies, structure, cells of immune system, and organs of immune system. Now, our topic is immunity. Immunity is the ability of an organism to fight with disease causing pathogens. Immunity is the ability of organism Immunity is the ability of an organism to fight against disease causing germs. Immunity is of two types based on how we will get this immunity. If we get immunity by birth, this type of immunity is called innate immunity. By birth, we will get by birth. Otherwise, after birth, during life, up to the death of the organism, we get, acquire, adapt some immunity power, that is called acquired immunity. Acquired immunity, also called adaptive immunity. Innate immunity. Innate, the name itself is giving. Innate means by birth. We get this type of immunity by birth. In the immunology introduction, we discussed about the first line, second line, and third line of immune defense mechanisms. Here, by birth, what we get by birth from parents. So, this is also called parental immunity. So, whatever the genes the parents have, so the genes also the offsprings will get. So, the immunity we will get by the genes. So, the innate immunity is also known as genetical immunity. Genetical immunity. So, innate immunity means by birth immunity we get by our parents, so called parental immunity, and from the genes we are getting that power, so called genetical immunity. Now, the barriers, the first line barriers and second line barriers comes under this innate immune power. What are the first line barriers? Suppose by birth, what we will get as a first line barrier, what we will get from the mother, our parents, or genetically what we will get, we get skin. So, skin, the first line defense mechanism, skin is the best example for innate immunity, because skin kills so many disease causing germs and stops the entry of microbes into our body. How skin kills? By using sweat. Sweat means NaCl, means this is a alkali or alkaline in nature. So, high alkaline nature, salinity kills bacteria. So, in our body skin producing sweat by using sweat pores, it contains NaCl. sodium chloride, salinity, and alkaline material or liquid. In that liquid, bacteria cannot exist, and that's why it kills bacteria. Second one, skin also contains sebum, sebaceous glands, sebaceous glands. Sebum is the oil in nature, oil in nature. So oil also traps the bacteria or disease causing germs and stops the entry into the organ, our body. So skin, by using oil gland, that is called sebaceous glands, sebum also called oil, that sebum stops the entry of the organisms, traps the bacteria and kills the bacteria. So here skin protecting our body to stops by stopping the entry of the organisms. We will get this skin by birth, so it comes under the innate immunity, first line barrier. Another first line barrier, mouth. Mouth contains saliva. Mouth contains saliva. Saliva with lysozyme, lysozyme enzyme that kills the bacteria. Tears in the eyes, tears also with lysozyme bacteria kills bacteria. So skin, mouth and eyes, tears. Nose and nasal cavity, nose and nasal cavity, nasal cavity with mucous membrane, mucous membrane also kills the or traps the bacteria, traps the bacteria. After that, the innate immunity contains stomach. If you take stomach, stomach is with HCl, hydrochloric acid is present. So it is 1.22 up to the 2.0 means it is a strong acid. It is a strong acid. In this acidic nature, bacteria cannot exist. It is killed. Means before meals, our stomach is fully cleaned, without bacteria, without germs are present here. It is killed. It is cleaned by hydrochloric acid. Lungs, lungs also protected, and there is no germs in the lungs because alveolar macrophages, alveolar lungs are with alveolar macrophages, alveolar macrophages are present, so they are protected. Ovaries, they are also sterile, no bacteria. HCl, stomach, stomach also sterile. Sterile means that there is no bacteria to see. So here, by birth, whatever the immune power we are getting, that is called innate immune power. In this innate immune power, the first line and second line defense mechanisms we are discussing. The first line defense mechanism is the skin. Skin protects our body by giving the sweat. Sweat means is NaCl, saline, alkalinity. More alkyl nature also kills the bacteria. Tears and mouth saliva both are with lysozyme, a powerful enzyme that kills bacteria. This is also by birth we are getting first line defense mechanism. Alveolar macrophages and ovaries, they are sterile because of the alveolar macrophages, and here phagocytes are present in the ovaries, so they are always sterile, no bacteria are present. This capacity we are getting by parents, so-called parental immunity. By genes we are getting so-called genetical immunity. By birth we are getting so-called by birth immunity. Coming to the second line defense mechanism, genetically we will get inflammation, phagocytes, and fever. So it also comes under the innate immune power by birth immune power. So far we discussed about the innate immunity. So immunity is two types, innate immunity and second is the acquired immunity. In the innate immunity we discussed about the skin, mouth, sweat, sebum. So all we discussed, and HCl in the stomach and alveolar macrophages in the liver, in the lungs also protected. Now the most important acquired immunity, also called adaptive immunity. Acquired immunity is of two types. Acquired immunity is of two types. One is active, second is the passive. Active and passive. Very simple. What is meaning of active acquired immunity? Look here. Active acquired immunity. Active acquired immunity. When we call a person is active, suppose this is a person, he is or she is active when an antigen enters into active person's body, his body responses to that antigen and able to produce antibodies. So if an antigen enters into the a person's body and his person's body produces by immune response antibody molecules, that person's body is called active body. In the immunology sense, active means when antigen enters into a person, that person develops the antibodies. If not able to produce the antibodies, then the person may get disease, because antigens are pathogens, they may cause diseases. In this person, they may cause disease, but they are able to produce the antibody molecules. So when an antigen enters into a healthy person's or a person's body, when he or she produces antibody molecules, then that person's body is called active person in the immunology sense. Now this active immunity is of two types. Active immunity is of two types. One is natural active, second one is artificial active. Artificial active acquired immunity. Artificial active acquired immunity. Naturally, very simple here, concept here. Naturally an antigen enters into a person's body naturally. There is no any human activity in this case. Naturally. How means when we are going to a different places, one place to another place, we are changing the places every time, every day. When there are unwanted pathogens are there in the air or food or water, we take inside. That is called natural active, means naturally antigens are entering. So active means What we discussed here, Act 2 means we have to take antigens. How we are taking? Naturally. Naturally, if antigen enters into a person's body, then this person produces what? Antibodies. Yes or no? So naturally, antigens enters into a person's body. A person means active person's body. Then naturally, his body produces antibody molecules. This is called active acquired immune power. Natural active acquired immune power. Naturally, how the antigens enters into our body? We don't know when they enters into our body. Best example is smallpox, mumps, measles, rubella. So smallpox, mumps and rubella, you are very much familiar with the smallpox. Here in the society we will see smallpox. If we get 21 days, we separately quarantine into a room. After 25 days or 21 days, the person automatically recovered from the smallpox. How? So naturally he attacked by the smallpox virus. Naturally he or she attacked by the smallpox virus. Our immune system recognized it as an antigen. Then that person immediately gets inflammation and shows the symptoms of that smallpox. In the course of time, our immune system produces memory cells, B cells and antibody molecules. It takes some time. After 21 days, automatically that antibody molecules kills that antigen naturally. So in the natural active acquired immunity case, naturally antigen enters into a person's body, activates the immune system, produces the antibody molecules. The same time the person gets the disease, shows the symptoms also. After some days, disease decreases, symptoms are decreases, recovery rate increases. Automatically after 2 weeks of time, the person recovered completely. That is known as natural active acquired immunity. Naturally they are getting the antigens. If not naturally they are getting, we are injecting. Doctors, other human beings, experienced persons, they inject the antigens to a person voluntarily. That is called artificial active acquired immunity. Artificial means man-made. Man means doctors. Doctors are well practiced persons. They give antigens to a person. Which person? Maybe active person. What happens then? Whatever the antigens he is injecting or giving orally as a drops, that antigens produces same that type of antibody molecules to kill that antigen. So what is the best example you are getting in your mind after listening of this artificial active acquired immunity? Artificial active acquired immunity means artificially man-made, doctors, active to a person, acquired immunity, injecting antigens. Active means injecting antigens. Why a person voluntarily inject antigens to a person? Because to develop antibodies for the future use. So the idea you get in your mind, that is correct, that is called vaccines. So vaccines comes under artificial active acquired immunity. Artificially man-made, active means injecting antigens voluntarily, knowingly we are injecting. That may be heat killed, inactivated, or attenuated, or killed vaccines. Polio vaccine is the best vaccine. Polio, polio vaccination. So here, killed vaccines are there. Polio killed vaccines are there. Polio attenuated means semi-live viruses. Salk vaccine is the killed vaccine of polio, and Sabine vaccine, Sabine vaccine is the live vaccine. Presently, Indian government using the Sabine vaccine because they are attenuated, semi-live or semi-killed viruses. So they give the long-lasting immune power to the children or infants. Kill vaccines may be not that much of long-lasting; they are temporary. So attenuated, live or semi-killed Sabine polio vaccine, familiarly in India, the government of India is using Sabine vaccine. Like that, all vaccines, MMR vaccine, MMR, mumps, measles, rubella, for 3 diseases, single vaccine, MMR vaccine. DPT vaccine, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, DPT vaccine, bacteria. This is viral, this is bacterial vaccines. We are discussing about the acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is of 2 types, active and passive. What is active means? Active means we are giving the antigens directly to that person. If the antigens are entering naturally without our permission, they are natural enters into our body, that is called natural active. Intentionally we are giving antigens to a person, that is called vaccines. What are vaccines? TB vaccine contains TB bacteria. Polio vaccine contains polio virus. Corona vaccine contains heat killed or semi-killed coronavirus itself. That's why in the crowds of people, one person will get the corona disease. In the crowds of people, maybe 1 or 2 persons may get the polio disease because that person unable to produce the antibody molecules and then he get the disease. It's a 0.001% only. So taking a vaccine is the best policy. So vaccinations means in the immunology, vaccinations means artificial, active, acquired immunity. Questions definitely fall on this category. What is natural active? What is meaning of active? What is artificial active? Vaccines are comes under which type of immunity? That is artificial, active, acquired immunity. Who is the father of vaccinology? Louis Pasteur. Father of immunology? Edward Jenner. Who discovered smallpox vaccine? Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner discovered smallpox vaccine by using which virus? It is a cowpox virus. Here, lock and key system. Every lock has its specific key. So antibodies are specifically produced. If you are taking the smallpox virus, smallpox antibodies only produced. But Edward Jenner has taken that cowpox virus to prepare the smallpox vaccination. Here polio vaccine contains polio virus and they produce the polio antibodies. Corona vaccine contains corona virus itself but heat killed and they produce the corona antibodies. So like that. So what is active? Active means you in your mind only one topic. Active means antigens. Active means antigens. A for active, A for antigen. It may be naturally occurring or artificially we are injecting as vaccines. Okay. So our topic is immunity Our topic is immunity. Immunity is two types. Innate immunity means by birth immunity. By birth we are getting from parents or genetical genes, we are getting that immunity. And during the life after birth up to the death of the individual, whatever the immunity we are taking from the outside, that is called acquired immunity, also called adaptive immunity. It is of two types, active and passive. Active means we are taking the antigens directly to that person. Now coming to our next topic is passive acquired immunity. Next topic is passive. The quite opposite to the active. In the active person's body, we are injecting the antigens because the person's immune system is well developed, otherwise well are present. That's why whenever we are injecting the antigens, they are able to produce the antibody molecules. The opposite to the active is passive. If you inject the antigens to the passive person, the person get disease and he will die. The person will get disease and he will die because his person's body immune system is not functional, not developed and not able to produce the antibodies. When you inject the antigens, instead they are getting the disease. So never give antigens directly to this passive person. Passive persons means passive. Whenever the word passive you listen, then you can think about the antibodies, not the antigens. So active means antigens, passive means antibody molecules. We are giving the antibodies directly to that person. That is called passive acquired immunity. It also basing on the how they are getting this antibodies. This also once again two types, natural and artificial. Natural and artificial. Naturally, that person will get the antibodies. Tell me how you and I and total animals or individuals or human beings, how we are getting antibodies naturally without our permission. They are coming to our body. How the antibodies are coming. In the types of antibody molecules, we discussed about the IgG antibody. IgG antibody is the antibody where highest amount of the antibodies are present in our body. 75% of antibodies are IgG antibodies. The best quality of the IgG antibody is it can cross the placenta. So that is here antibodies mother to baby. IgG antibodies crossing placenta. So directly antibodies are entering into the infant fetus because fetus body not developed yet, immune system is not developed. If you inject antigens, the fetus may die by getting the disease. So never inject antigens directly to the infant or babies or fetus because immune system is not developed. So what happening from mother to baby through the placenta, from mother blood to the infants or fetus, by crossing the placenta, IgG antibodies are entering into the fetus. That is called natural passive immunity. From the colostrum is called mother's first first milk of mother, they are yellow in color. Yellow in color because antibodies are abundantly present. The first 3 days of the first mother's milk are yellow in color because IgM antibodies. IgM type of antibodies, they are pentamer. Pentamer means they have 5 antibodies collectively, means they can kill 10 antigens at a time. So wide range of immune power, up to 6 months they will protect the child. So mother's first milk, directly they are containing antibody molecules, especially IgM antibodies. Mother to baby crossing the placenta, IgG antibodies are coming. So the fetus or infants are getting natural transfer of antibodies into their body from their mother. So mother to baby, whatever the antibodies are transferring, that is known as natural passive acquired immunity. Naturally antibodies means passive, naturally antibodies are entering into the fetus to protect the fetus, that is called acquired immunity or adaptive immunity by mother they are getting. Okay, and colostrum means the first milk of the mother is called colostrum. Okay, these two comes under the natural passive acquired immunity. And lastly, artificial passive means passive artificial acquired immunity. Passive means we have to give antibodies. Artificial means man-made, means man intentionally will give. Intentionally, when we will take antibody molecules, intentionally we will take antibodies directly. They are not coming naturally. We have to take artificially. When there is a bite of snake bite. Snake bite, scorpion bite, wasp, otherwise honeybees. Or if a person taken toxins, the doctor gives antitoxins. Snake has venom, doctor will give anti-venom. These two are called antidote. So whenever we are taking the antidote after immediate biting of a snake or scorpion or wasps or honeybees or toxins, when we attacked by toxins, the well experienced doctors they will give antitoxins, anti-venom, antidote to neutralize that venom or toxin. That means, what is a toxin? Toxin is a protein molecule, but outside our body, so called antigen. What is antitoxin? That is also protein molecule, that we are calling it as a antibody molecules. So whatever the antibody molecules we are intentionally taking into our body, that is known as artificial passive acquired immunity. So this much of the different types of immunities are present. Now in the single chart we will discuss, our flow chart is there. Okay, you can try to draw it. Immunity, two types. One, innate immunity, here also called the three names you have to write there. Next, second one, acquired, otherwise adaptive immunity. Next, this adaptive immunity is of two types. One is active, in bracket what we will take, you write. Next, passive, in bracket what we will take directly, you have to write there. Active is once again the mode of entry, natural, artificial. Natural or artificial. Here passive also same, two types. Passive also two types. One is natural, second one is artificial. Now write innate immunity, also called by birth immunity, parental immunity, genetical immunity. Active immunity means we are taking directly antigens. Passive means we are taking directly antibodies. AB means antibodies. Natural means naturally. Artificial means by intentionally, by volunteer, by intentionally we are taking. Here also same, natural means natural, without any interfering of man. Artificial, voluntary. Voluntarily we will take antibody molecules. So here this chart gives innate immunity, acquired immunity. Active means we are taking the antigens, directly, and passive means we are taking the antibodies directly. So here definitely one or two questions the indirectly, directly they will ask. Here artificial, active, acquired immunity means here example is the vaccines. Natural passive immunity, mother to baby. So this is the types of immunity we completed.